Welcome, and you're watching Project Nigel. So the first to take me up on my comedy car review is my friend Carl, with his Volkswagen Bora just there. The first thing to note about this particular car is the rather comedy door opening squeak. Isn't that cute? Now, first thing to say is he does keep the thing quite clean, quite shiny. That paintwork is very, very nice. But then he does know what he's doing when it comes to certain aspects of car things. You may notice a few tweaks here. First of all, it is a bit lowered. Rather massive twin sticky out exhausts that also have the comedy value of sticking up as well. The wheels are certainly a talking point. They're certainly an unusual colour, not to everyone's taste obviously, and probably not to mine. Doesn't stop me from quite liking them though, I'm not really sure why. One rather unusual feature of this car I've noticed so far is that neither of the front wings are rotten. Rotting front wings is very much a Volkswagen thing, and this car just hasn't been a team player. I really am not sure why he has these roof bars on the top. I've never actually seen my friend carry anything on the top. Maybe it's a style thing, not sure. Inside this car, Carl has already told me that, you know, he doesn't keep it that clean and it is a bit of a mess. And I don't really want to embarrass him, so I'm not going to show. I'm going to show you all the mess he's left in here. The seat cover, obviously we can accept that because the chap is a mechanic, and mechanics are very, very dirty people. So he has managed to treat me to a few empty cans of pop and some receipts and a mask there and some sunglasses. Really, I have seen a lot worse. I mean, I can't see any crisp packets. Crisp packets are the worst thing, and sweets that have melted into the carpet. And the only thing worse than that are the mice and rats that follow. I can tell you, with all honesty, I have never ever been a fan of the Volkswagen Bora, or the Golf really, or Volkswagens generally speaking. So, I mean, that would suggest that I'm not going to be overly kind to this car, doesn't it? Door shut sounds. What they sound like. You make your own mind up about whether you like them. I think they sound a bit like a Vauxhall Astra personally. Now, everything here does have quite a kind of good solid feel to it. The buttons are, well, they're kind of purposeful, so they're not baggy, they're not falling off. Steering wheel's nice and leathery, well, actual leather, yeah. Gear knob feels okay, it's not coming off in my hand, which I must admit, I do have a car that does do that. Now, he said I could take it for a drive, but one thing I really do need to do is alter this seat position because it's wrong. I mean, it's just in the wrong. The seat is in the wrong place. It should be, you know, there where you can actually sit comfortably. I can't believe my friend is driving with his forehead on the windscreen. These heater control things have quite a nice tactile feel to them. Yeah, that one though, I'm not too sure about. I mean, it feels okay, but the wheel's just not big enough to turn easily enough. I mean, if you've got slippery or greasy or oily fingers, of course, if you're a mechanic, you're going to struggle with that. Now, let's see what is under the bonnet. Now, obviously, I already know what's under the bonnet. But yes, it's a diesel engine. Diesel. A diesel engine. I didn't need to pop that to show you because you know it's a diesel by the sound and by the horrendous smell. Now then, I'm going to take it for a test drive, but this phone holder thing won't stick on the window, so I've just got to kind of leave it sat there next to me. Start the engine! And it starts straight away. But what can you hear? You can definitely hear that turbo, can't you? Now the engine's on, you can hear it ticking over quite smoothly actually. Nicely warmed up, so I can drive it properly too. Fast think let's go for a drive. Now he's told me I need to be a bit careful on things like speed humps, etc., because the car is lowered and he's already managed to damage his front bumper, and I don't want to make it any worse, believe it or not. How does it drive? Well, so far it's not as bad as I was expecting. I actually thought it was going to be rock hard and kind of horrible really, but it's actually quite wafty, it's quite smooth, and because he knows what he's doing as far as keeping the thing fixed is concerned, there's no clonks or even it rattles, come to think of it. So far so good actually, besides its exterior issues and the fact that it needs a clean up. It doesn't feel too bad, but what about if I fling it around a few corners? What about that? Should we try that? Would that be... Oh yes, I had a bit of trouble there trying to get this holder to stick to the windscreen. But I've done it now. Hopefully it won't just fly off as I'm going along. So listen to the turbo whistle. It's not quite as pronounced as I thought it would be actually. I've heard this car going around quite a lot. Thought, God, that's got some noise on the go. But gosh, it really does actually pick up very well indeed, to be honest. Real test for me is Rochdale's racetrack, which of course is Kingsway Business Park. What I'm going to do is just fling it around a couple of corners, see what happens, see if it's any good. It's not terrible, but you get to the limit of its ability to go around a corner reasonably quickly, I think. I'm unimpressed by the way it drives. It actually drives better than I was anticipating, and it goes round corners a bit better than I was anticipating as well. So as much as I just want to totally slate the thing, I can't really for that, to be honest. Is it as good to drive as Nigel? It's a different drive. I do quite like that sort of big thumpy turbo boost you get from it, but I much prefer the sound of that crackling K-Series whiz up. The whiz up. The K-Series whiz up. That's going to be a term I use more often, I think. It's also worthwhile mentioning it's actually very easy to drive, come to think of it. The clutch is nice and light, and the pedals seem to be quite well organised. So again, I'm quite pleasantly surprised. Back to Project Nigel headquarters. I'll just leave the thing on tick over for a minute because the turbo was spilled up quite a bit there, although probably nowhere near as much as how Catl drives it. Further to the interior quality, it is quite well laid out. I believe this handle here feels a bit creaky, but I think I can forgive that one thing. This glove box, big enough to fit all sorts of stuff in. It does actually drive and feel kind of exactly the same as a Volkswagen Golf I had a few years back. That was also a 1.9 diesel, which it was nice, but I think it was just a bit boring. So the final score for the Volkswagen Bora is 21%. 21% junk. 79% quite good.